Definition of cost. This lecture is appointed to focus on very significant chapter in economics as a whole and in microeconomics in particular. Cost. Cost determines the behavior of producer of goods and services. That's why it plays very significant role and it has very serious impact on the behavior of demand and the behavior of supply. That's why economists give this chapter of economics very high attention, I mean theoretical attention, to explain the whole issue of the process of production, distribution and consumption. So cost is a precise chapter of microeconomics. So, cost may be defined as the monetary value of all sacrifices made to achieve an objective, whatever kind of objective, to produce goods and services. Costs are very important in business decision making. Cost of production provides the floor to pricing. It helps manager to take correct decision, such as what price to quote, whether to place particular order for inputs or not, whether to abandon or add a product to the existing product line, and so on. So generally speaking, cost may be defined as the monetary value of all sacrifices made to achieve an objective or to produce goods and services. Determinants of cost. So here I am talking about factors affect the cost. Size of plant, number one. There is an inverse relationship between size of plant and cost. Large plant, high costs. First, size of plant affects inversely in the cost. 2. Level of output. There is a direct relation between output level and cost. 3. Price of output. Assumed to be direct. There is a direct relationship between price of inputs and cost. Somehow, price is the compensation of output of cost. State of technology. More modern and upgraded the technology implies lesser cost and vice versa. So the relation between the level of technology and cost is inverse. Management and administrative efficiency. Efficiency and cost are inversely related. So these are the determinants of cost: size of plant, level of output, price of inputs, state of technology, management and administrative efficiency. First, the relation is inverse between the size and the cost. The relation between output and the cost is direct. The relation between price and cost is direct. The relation between the level of technology and cost is inverse. The efficiency of management and cost is inverse. Forms of cost. Various forms of cost, but we will try to restrict it here. Actual cost. Actual cost means the actual expenditure incurred on producing goods and services. Opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is measured in terms of the foregone benefit from the next best alternative use of a given resources. Explicit cost. An explicit cost is a cost that is directly incurred by the firm, company, or organization. Implicit cost. The implicit cost is directly opposite to it, as it is a cost that is not directly incurred by the firm or company. Incremental cost. Incremental costs are the added cost of a change in the level of production or the nature of activity. Sunk cost. Sunk costs are costs which cannot be altered in any way. Past costs. Past costs are actual costs incurred in the past. Future costs. Future costs are costs which are to be incurred in the near future. Explicit is an accounting cost, while explicit and implicit is an economic cost. So here we are facing 9 forms of costs: actual cost, opportunity cost, explicit cost, implicit cost, incremental cost, sunk costs, past costs, future cost, explicit cost. Total fixed and variable cost. Fixed costs are the amount spent by the firm on fixed inputs in the short run. Fixed costs are the cost of fixed factors. Cost fixed factors of production and variable factor of production. The fixed cost is the cost of fixed factors of production, those costs which remain constant irrespective of the level of output. These costs remain unchanged even if the output of the firm is nil. Building, infrastructure, raw materials, these are known as the fixed cost. The costs remain unchanged even if the output of the firm is nil. The graph below shows that fixed costs, regardless the level of production, even 1, 0, 2, at the level of 20 units, irrespective of the level of output, even 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. This describes only the condition of production in the short-run period. Put into account, thus here we are talking, once we distinguish between or classify fixed cost in 3 forms: total, fixed and variable, that means we are talking about cost in the short-run period, the function of cost in the short-run period. So each function, the cost is classified as the cost in the short-run period and in the long-run period. This is resulting from the classification of the production function. The classification of cost is resulting from the classification of production. So here we are talking about the short run period: total cost, fixed cost, variable cost. Shortly, you can define cost as the cost of fixed factors of production. Variable cost. Variable costs are those costs that change directly as the volume of output changes. So the changes in variable cost is resulting from the change in the level of output. So variable cost, it can be considered as the dependent variable. Dependent variable depends on the level of output. As the production increases, variable cost also increases. So here the relation between variable cost and production is direct, and as the product decreases, variable cost also decreases. and when the production stops, variable cost also will stop. This is what about variable cost. Again, once we are talking about variable cost, so that means we are focusing on the short run period of the cost, the short run period of the cost. So as you see, the graph below explains the relation between the variable cost and production is direct, because the curve is upward. The curve usually generally, if the curve is upward, that means the relation between two variables are direct, and otherwise is the curve is sloping down if the relation between two variables is inverse. So the curve shows that the relation between these two variables is direct. Total cost. Total cost is the total expenditure incurred in the production of goods and services. It is a summation of fixed cost and variable cost. These terminologies or terms help us to understand the essence of cost. Average cost. Average cost is not actual cost. It is obtained by dividing the total cost by the total output. The share of one unit of product in total cost. Average cost formally equal total cost over units produced. TC over Q. Q here stands for the quantity of production, or TP total product. Marginal cost. The cost occur on producing one additional unit of commodity or service is known as a marginal cost. Thus, it's shown a change in total cost when one more or less unit is produced. Generally speaking, the principle of marginality means the relation between the change in one variable to the change in other variable. These are main: total cost, average cost, marginal costs. The marginal concepts, as we mentioned, plays very significant role in economics. Short run cost. Short run is a period where the time is too short to expand the size of industry and increased demand has to be met with the existing size of industry, because there are certain factors which cannot be changed in short run. Long run cost. In the long run, the size of an industry or plant can be expanded to meet the increased demand for products, such as in long run all the factors of production can be increased according to need. So As we mentioned before, the classification of production into two periods, short and long run, resulting from the classification of the production function also into short and long run period. So the total cost and average cost and marginal cost are very important terms for understanding the items of the cost and its role in determining the total output, price, revenue, profit, etc. Given 4 variables to find the relationship between total product, average product, and marginal product, and to see this through the to review these variables through the cost terms, where TP stands for total product, AB for average product, and MP for marginal product. Given 8 levels of labor respectively, given total product TP, and we are looking at finding average product and marginal product. When L equal 1, total product is 10, average product equal 10 over 1 is 10, and marginal product also 10 at producing, at one labor. 2 employees, or the second employees, the total product rise from 10 up to 25 respectively. The average product will increase from 10 up to 12.5, 25 over 2, 12.5, and the marginal product is the change delta TB over delta L, delta L all time equal to 1, but delta TB equal, in this case, equal 25 minus 10 equal 15, 15 over 1 equal 15, 3 labor 3, the total product equal 45, for total product 70, average product 17.5, and marginal product is 25 because 70 minus 45 over 4 minus 3. The next total product is 90, average product is 18, marginal product is 20. When L equals 6, the total product is 105, the average product of course is 105 over 6 equals 17.5, and the difference between 105 and 90 is 15. 15 over 1 is 1. The next is total product is 115, and the average product AB equal 16.43, and the marginal product is the difference between 115 difference between 115 and 105 is 10. The last snack is 120, average product 15, and marginal product is the difference between 120 and 115 is 5. As you see, the maximum level of marginal product equal 25. So equal 25, and when when the company attracts the fifth lever, the marginal declines from 25 to 20, and so on and so on. The high level of average product equal 18 when company attracts 5 levers. Given the table where Q stands for product, FC stands for fixed cost, VC stands for variable cost, TC stands for total cost, AFC stands for average fixed cost, and AVC stands for average variable cost, ETC stands for average total cost. The product equals 0, FC as emphasized before equal 40, it is 400 is constant. Now VC, of course, because production equals 0. Total cost equal 400, respectively there is no AVC, AFC equals 0, and ATC equals 0. 1 unit of product. So fixed cost 400, VC variable cost 200. Total cost is a summation of fixed cost plus variable cost. It is 600. 400 plus 200, 600. The average fixed cost equal 400 over 1 equal 400, and the average variable cost also equal 200 over 1 equal 200. ATC equal total cost over Q equal 600. Product equal to FC constant as we mentioned. Variable cost now equal 400. Respectively, the total cost equal 400 plus 400 equal 800. Average fixed cost equal 400 over 2 equal 200, and average variable cost equal 400 over 2 equal 200. Average total cost equal 800 over 2 equal 400. Product equals to 3. FC equal 400, VC equal 600. The total of cost equal 1000. Average fixed cost equal 400 over 3, 133.3. AVC all times 200. ATC equal 333.3. When production equals to 4, VC equal 800, total cost equal 1200. Average fixed cost equal 400 over 4 equal 100, and AVC average variable cost equal 200, where is average total cost equal 280. So last, the production equals 6, variable cost equal 1200, total cost equal 1600, average fixed cost equal 66.6, average variable cost equal 200, and average total cost equal to 266.6. So total cost equal fixed cost plus variable cost, average fixed cost equal fixed cost over Q, average variable cost equal variable cost over Q, average total cost equal total cost over Q, or equal AFC plus AVC over Q. So ATC equal AFC plus AVC. In the long run period, all factors of productions are changeable. So there is no variable or fixed factor, and the quantity of production is controlled by 3 stages. في الفترة قصيرة الأجل في الفترة طويلة الأجل كل الانبوتس كل المدخلات مغيرة. So we have no in the long run period fixed factor or variable factor, and the change of production, the quantity of production, is controlled by 3 stages: increasing return زيادة الحجم, when the percentage change in production more than percentage change in factors. لو كان نسبة الزيادة في الإنتاج أكبر من نسبة الزيادة في عناصر الإنتاج. The decreasing scale, decreasing return, when the percentage change in production less than percentage change in factors. لما يكون حجم الإنتاج نسبة التغير في الإنتاج أقل من نسبة التغير في عناصر الإنتاج. equal return, حجم الناتج المتساوي, when the percentage change in production equals to percentage change in factors. These 3 phases concern with the change of production in the long run period where there is no variable or fixed cost. The short run period states that the change in the total product is caused by the change in one input variable, while other factors is fixed. Logically, production is followed by costs. If we have 2 functions of production, according to the division of period, production function in the short and in the long run period respectively, we face 2 functions of costs: cost in the short run period and cost in the long run period. Once there are 2 forms of factors of production in the short run period, fixed factor and variable factor. Each of them has a cost. Therefore, the cost of fixed factor of production is known as a fixed cost, and the cost of variable factor is known as the variable cost. So in the short run period, we face two forms of costs: fixed cost of the fixed factor and variable cost of the variable factors. The total cost is summation TC, which is stand for total cost, equal fixed cost plus variable cost. Therefore, in the short run period, we compute three forms of cost. Total cost, summation fixed and variable cost, fixed cost of the fixed factors, and variable cost of variable factors. So in the short run period, the change in the total cost is resulting from the change of the variable cost, because other cost is fixed, is constant. Okay. In the long run period, once there is no fixed factor of production and there is no variable factor of production, respectively, we will get one form of cost, which is a variable cost, because all factors are changing. This short summary: cost function is the total cost of producing output. It consists of two different types of cost: variable cost and fixed cost. Variable varies with output, the number of units produced. The total variable cost can be expressed as the product of variable cost per unit and number of units produced. If more items are produced, cost is more. Fixed cost normally do not vary with output. In general, these costs must be incurred whether the items are produced or not. Cost function is shown. The cost of x equal the variable cost plus the variable cost of x, linear function, where C total cost, F fixed cost, V variable cost per unit, and X it is the number of units produced and sold. Revenue function. Revenue function is the total payment received from selling a good or performing a service. The revenue function Rx reflects the revenue from selling X amount of output items at a price of P per item. So the function of revenue Rx equal Px. P stands here for price of 1 unit, and X stands for the quantity of product. Accordingly, let's define the profit functions. Profit function P by X actually is the difference between the revenue function Rx and the total cost function Cx. Thus, by X, which stands for profit equal Rx negative Cx. Profit equal revenue subtracted by cost. Some examples to explain cost, revenue and profit functions. Assume that the fixed cost is $850, variable cost per item is 45, and selling price per unit is $65. Write cost function, revenue function and profit function. So cost function equal variable cost plus fixed cost. Firstly, let's assume that X stands for product. So the value of variable cost depends on the quantity of goods or services. So once X is unknown, so the function of total cost will be TCX equal 45X plus $850. As we mentioned before, the fixed cost is unchanged due to the change of quantity of production. And as we mentioned, the relation between the quantity of production and variable cost is direct. So $45 is the variable cost of 1 unit of X. Revenue function, it is TR equals T equal P multiplied by the quantity of products. Price is given $65 and X is unknown. That's why if it's known, there is no need to write function. Profit function indicates the subtracted relation between revenue and total cost. So equal 65X stands for TR, total revenue, and negative between brackets 45X plus 850. 65X negative 45X 20X negative 850. These are functions. Now let's, for example, assume that the quantity of production is 10. That's X means X equal 10. If X equal 10, then the total cost equal 45 multiplied by 10. It is 450 plus 850. This is the total cost. Revenue function equal, in case, 65 multiplied by 10 units, because X equal 10 units and each unit the price of each unit is 65, so the revenue is 650. The production, the profit, the total profit equal respectively 200, 20 times 10, 200, and minus 850. Here we face loss, no profit, or negative profit. Revenue and cost functions for a company are given below. Revenue equal negative 30, 6x2 plus 2000x. Cost equal 125x plus 3500. Write a simplified form of the profit function. By x equal rx negative cx equal, let's substitute, just substitution, negative 36x2 plus 2000x negative between brackets 125x plus 6500 equal just sense of application of additions and subtraction. The result is negative 36x2 plus 1875x negative 6500. This is put into account. Here we face two variables, x2 and x. Is some complicated form of profit functions. If a retail store has fixed cost of $150 and variable cost per unit is 175 and sells his products at $500 per unit, the requirements are: find the cost function Cx. What would the revenue function be, and what would the profit function be? Cost function equals Cx 175x plus 150. Revenue function R x equal 500x. Profit function, revenue function, negative cost function. So Rx minus Cx equal 500x negative 175x plus 150. The calculation gives that 325x minus 150x. Assume that x equal to, then the total revenue equal the total just assume that equal x 325 times 5 times 5, because we assume that x equal 5. That means 325 times 5 negative 150. 4. A company produces and sells a product, and fixed cost of the company are $6,000 and variable cost is so here we need to find again the function of revenue, the function of profit. The givens are determine the profit when 100,000 units are sold. How many units have to be produced and sold to yield a profit of 10,000. C TC equal fixed cost plus 25x. 25 it is variable cost per unit. TR equal 50x. Profit equal 50x negative 6,000 plus 25x equal 25x negative 6,000. So if the units are 1,000, then the profit is 19,000, and if the price is 10,000, then we have to produce 640 units. We need to produce 640 units. So if we can find also the profit equal $10,000 by incurred 640 units, and we assume that is the profit is unknown, so either to give 10,000 profit or to give 640 units, and we can receive the same result. Marginal cost, revenue and profit. Additional cost of producing an additional unit of output is called marginal cost. Marginal cost is the change in the total cost that arises when the quantity produced changes by 1 unit. Marginal cost function is expressed as the first derivative of the total cost function with respect to quantity x. Marginal revenue is the change in total revenue from increasing quantity by 1 unit. Marginal revenue is the additional revenue that will be generated by increasing product sales by 1 unit. Marginal revenue function is expressed as the first derivative of the revenue function GR with respect to quantity. So marginal cost, marginal revenue and marginal profit. As we mentioned before, every economist has to put attention to the concept of marginality, because this term plays a significant role in formulation of theoretical approach. Cost function of a company equal 6x2 no, actually 6 power 2 plus 5x plus 100, please. 6x power 2 plus 5x plus 100. Calculate the marginal cost function. The marginal cost is the differentiation of the total cost. So the differentiation of 6 x power 2 plus 5x plus 100 equal 2 by 6x plus 5 plus 0. 2 by 6, it is 12x plus 5. The marginal cost at x equal 10 equal 12 times 10 plus 5, which is 125. Given the total cost functions of manufacturing X shoes per year is given by Cx equal 525 plus 150x negative 0.2 x power 2. So the differentiation of this function is 150 negative 0.2 multiplied by 2x equals 150 negative 0.4 x. This is a differentiation. As we mentioned, the marginal cost equals the differentiation of total cost. Here, not x2, please. 0.2 x power 2. X power 2. So a x power b equal a b x. The market department of ABC company recommends manufacture and market a new school bag. The financial department provides the following cost function. Cx equals 600 plus 120x, where 6000 is estimated fixed cost and the estimated variable cost is 125 per bag. The revenue function is 5x plus 0.5 x power 2. We need to find the marginal cost MC and find the marginal revenue MR function. So the differentiation of the total cost gives the marginal cost. So it is easy. The differentiation of 600 plus 120 equal just 120. The differentiation of total revenue gives the marginal revenue. If the function of the revenue equal 15x plus 0.5 x power 2, so the marginal revenue equal 5 plus 0.5 x 0.5 x, which is 15 plus 0.1 x. The demand function of company P equal 42 minus 0.1 x. and cost function is Cx equal 30x plus 1200, where x is the number of units demanded. We are looking at finding the profit function, the marginal profit function, and at the calculation the profit for 1000 units. Rx equal P times X. So X multiplied by the brackets of 42 negative 0.1x. The result is 42x negative 0.1 x power 2. The profit function is revenue function negative cost function, and the harvest is negative 0.1 x power 2 plus 12x negative 1200x. The marginal profit function is the differentiation of the profit function. So equal 0.2x plus 12. The result is 0.1 times 1000 power 2 plus 12 times 1000 negative 1200. The result is 9800. Profit maximization rule. Marginal revenue equal marginal cost, or differentiation of profit function. One, if demand function is D equal 160 negative 0.25x and cost function equal 15x plus 0.25x power 2, find the profit revenue and maximizing output level. R equal dx. Revenue function equal 160 negative 0.25x multiplied by x equal 160x negative 0.25x power 2. Cost function equal 15x plus 0.25x power 2.